without hurting people's feelings when people get sensitive. KD says the other day his name should be discussed in the greatest of all time. I think the greatest players are.
Shaquille O'Neal didn't hold back when Kevin Durant casually joked about Michael Jordan's era and his brief baseball detour, and the way he fired back left everyone stunned. While a reaction from Shaq was expected, the intensity caught fans off guard. What started as a laid-back podcast chat turned into a full-blown generational debate, with Shaq making it clear he wasn't taking the remarks lightly. Back in December 2025, LeBron James and KD appeared on Mind the Game, discussing load management and how today's stars carefully preserve their bodies compared to the old days, when players battled through injuries without modern recovery tools, charter flights, or extensive support teams. The conversation flowed casually until Michael Jordan came up, and LeBron and KD laughed at some quirks of the 1990s NBA, including Jordan's baseball hiatus, meant as light-hearted reflection rather than disrespect. From their perspective, it was just playful commentary, but Shaq saw it differently, and the clash quickly became impossible to ignore.
I want to give him a GOAT kind of status because I don't want to disrespect his talent because KD we've never seen that before, right? As a fan of basketball, to me, I've never seen a more skilled guy at that height. He could do everything that a guard can do. He shoots better than anybody ever, damn near except for Steph. And that part I think is GOAT status. But I'm saying, like, when y'all start doing championships and this, it gets...
Shaquille O'Neal wasn't about to let LeBron and Kevin Durant's laughter slide, and once the clips went viral, he fired back hard. To Shaq, their jokes about Michael Jordan's era and baseball hiatus crossed the line, sounding more like mockery than casual commentary. He argued that today's stars can't truly understand the sacrifices of the players who paved the way, flying commercial, playing brutal back-to-backs, and grinding without modern recovery tech. Shaq stressed the emotional weight behind Jordan stepping away for baseball, noting the personal loss that shaped his decisions, and said laughing about it showed a lack of respect. He widened his defense to include legends like Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, insisting the pioneers deserve honor, not jokes. Shaq also challenged the GOAT debate, claiming the 80s and 90s NBA was a tougher, more physical league, one many of today's stars wouldn't survive. Fans split immediately. Some applauded Shaq for defending history. Others argued LeBron and KD were merely highlighting era differences, not mocking Jordan personally. Social media lit up with arguments, framing the clash as old school versus new school, legacy versus evolution, and who truly controls basketball's narrative. The tension isn't new either. Shaq and Durant have history, going back to February 2017 when JaVale McGee, then with the Warriors, repeatedly appeared on Shaq's Shaqton a Fool segment, and what started as jokes eventually created real friction. This latest episode isn't just about a podcast. It's about respect, legacy, and the ongoing tug-of-war between generations in the NBA.
Without hurting people's feelings when people get sensitive. KD says the other day his name should be discussed in the greatest of all time conversation. What has he not done? Agree or disagree?
So you got to be specific. You can't just say greatest of...
No, the GOAT. Like they always talk about LeBron,
I think
Michael Jordan. I throw in Kobe. Some people don't. I threw in Steph Curry the other day. No, he's saying his name should be in that.
I think KD is the GOAT on this for 7 foot, 2 guard.
No. Is he one of the greatest of all time? Yes.
One of the greatest 7. There's no.
No.
Seen another KD.
Should he be in that conversation? What you think?
I think so, and I think so. Kevin Durant is a transcendent talent, bro. Like we've never seen
it before.
We've never seen anybody like KD. And I said this the other day on something else I was doing.
Kevin Durant finally snapped after watching his teammate endure weeks of what he saw as public humiliation, calling Shaquille O'Neal childish and accusing him of abusing his media power to mock someone just trying to survive in the league. KD didn't hold back, taking to social media to call out a Hall of Famer by name, claiming Shaq chased attention and crossed a line, a tone that stunned fans everywhere. He even questioned Shaq's basketball skill, arguing that Shaq relied more on size and power than refined technique, pointing to his free throw struggles and suggesting he never had to evolve like modern players do. That hit Shaq where it hurt, challenging the legacy of a 4-time champ with 3 straight finals MVPs. Shaq fired back mercilessly, telling KD to keep quiet until he earned a championship ring, listing his own titles and labeling today's stars soft and overly sensitive. The feud went viral instantly, drawing commentary from Warriors coach Steve Kerr, who defended KD and called Shaq's public ridicule unprofessional. Durant stood firm, refusing to let Shaq's legacy intimidate him, while Shaq doubled down, framing the modern era as weaker than the past. What started as personal jabs became a full-blown generational war over toughness, respect, and who truly defines greatness in the NBA. This feud highlighted a deep generational divide in basketball, with Shaquille O'Neal embodying the old-school mindset, where physical dominance, toughness, and championship rings defined greatness, while Kevin Durant represented the modern era, built on skill, versatility, and pure individual talent. Two philosophies, two eras, and no middle ground. Shaq insisted that rings and power were the ultimate measure, while Durant argued that skill and adaptability mattered just as much. The tension didn't erupt immediately but simmered quietly, waiting for the right moments. Ironically, just months after Shaq told KD to win a championship before speaking, Durant did exactly that, claiming a Finals MVP ring in June 2017 when the Warriors defeated the Cavaliers, instantly validating his credentials. Yet even that didn't end their rivalry. Their dynamic had already been set. Clash, cool off, clash again. The pattern first sparked during the 2017 JaVale McGee drama and continued resurfacing over the years, most recently in January 2023 when Shaq dismissed Lakers forward Rui Hachimura on TNT, claiming he didn't even know who he was, right after Hachimura delivered a standout performance following his Lakers trade.
The timing was bad when he went to Golden State. Right after that, right after losing to them, then going to them. I think any other year in his career he'd go there. It's not looked at as that particular thing. You know what I'm saying? And it's such a sensitive subject with people in basketball and basketball debates, but Kevin Durant is absolutely one of the best players that we've seen of all.
So he's one of two of the most prolific, dominant scorers ever. And I think, like you said, to piggyback on what you said, because you lose to Golden State and then you go join them and win a championship, I think that tarnishes it. Now, if he can win one where he's the bus driver, like Charles would say, I think we would definitely have to put him in that conversation. But right now, I don't really have him. Yeah, but I think people were upset because, especially guys that we play this game. If we knew that was acceptable, probably a lot of us would have done it. If I knew that was acceptable, I would have just went to Chicago. If I knew that was
Durant, then with the Brooklyn Nets, didn't let Shaq's dismissal of players like Rui Hachimura go unanswered, subtweeting that the Hall of Famer seemed out of touch with the modern NBA. Shaq fired back immediately, mocking KD's career choices and sensitivity, and the exchange quickly turned personal, with Durant joking about Shaq's online antics and age, and even rapper J. Cole somehow getting name-dropped in the chaos. Fans watched, mostly shaking their heads, as the back and forth reminded everyone that old tensions between these two could ignite at any moment. This wasn't the only flare-up. In June 2022, after KD's public fallout with former teammate Draymond Green over podcast comments, Shaq jumped in again, siding with Green and leaning on his classic bus rider versus bus driver argument, claiming Durant's titles were less meaningful because he joined a team that had already won. Durant fired back, accusing Shaq of resenting the modern NBA and player empowerment, arguing that Shaq's critiques came from bitterness rather than objectivity. Still, it hasn't been all conflict. When KD passed Shaq on the NBA's all-time scoring list in March 2024, moving Shaq to 9th, he publicly congratulated Durant, though naturally adding a challenge to chase the top spot held by LeBron James. Keeping their rivalry both competitive and personal, some fans read genuine respect in Shaq's moments of praise, while others saw a subtle reminder that Durant still had more to prove, fueling the debate yet again. Then, in November 2024, during Durant's clash with ESPN's Stephen A. Smith over leadership criticism, Shaq unexpectedly defended KD, telling Smith to respect Durant's accomplishments. That rare show of support revealed just how layered their relationship is: rivalry, respect, ego, and history all tangled together. One day they clash publicly. The next, Shaq steps in to defend KD. That unpredictability is what keeps the basketball world hooked. At the heart of it all is the big question: where does Kevin Durant truly belong in NBA history? Shaq has never hesitated to stake his claim. Michael Jordan sits unchallenged at the top. Kobe Bryant is a given. LeBron James frequently enters the conversation. Steph Curry earns recognition for impact and championships. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar holds the scoring record and rings. But KD, in Shaq's hierarchy, occupies a unique spot. He doesn't deny Durant's greatness, but he distinguishes it from the legends who, in Shaq's view, define the game's legacy. Shaq doesn't completely dismiss Durant's greatness, but he deliberately places him outside the top tier, making a clear distinction between being one of the greatest and being in the conversation for the absolute greatest, a line he draws intentionally. Durant's supporters counter with the undeniable fact that KD is unlike anyone before him, nearly 7 feet tall, yet moving with godlike agility, with unmatched shooting, ball handling, and scoring versatility at that size. From a pure talent perspective, Durant brought something entirely new to the NBA,